When we were still in school, we learned a lot of subjects. However, when we step out into the real world, we hardly use them. On the contrary, there are subjects that are not taught in school, but we spend most of our lives working because of them. It is the subject of getting rich. Therefore, today I will share with you the most important principle of becoming rich so you can understand the essence of making money and apply it to your own life. Now, let's dive into the main content. First, I will provide you with the most basic formula for making money. Just as Albert Einstein once presented the classic formula in physics, E equals mc squared. In the future, if there is another Einstein in the field of economics, he would likely propose a similar formula. Income equals the value you provide multiplied by the number of people you serve. Now, I will give an example to make it easier to understand. One of the closest examples to us is that of a bread seller. In her business, the value she brings is supplying food for people. To put it even more simply, it's about helping people fill their stomachs. And this value is contained in a product, which is the loaf of bread. As for the people she serves, they are of course the ones who buy her bread. Looking at the formula above, we can see that the income of the bread seller is equal to the value she creates in each loaf of bread multiplied by the number of loaves she sells to customers. Additionally, we observe that when there are more customers buying her products, her income will be significantly higher. Conversely, if you see that she only sells 10 loaves of bread each day, it indicates that she is about to close down her shop. Applying this formula, we can deduce that if we want to increase our income, we have two main ways: to increase the value we provide or to increase the number of people we serve. Among these two methods, the most effective way is to do both. In particular, everyone should focus on increasing the number of people we serve, as this is almost limitless. We can see that there are individuals who create products with very little value, such as a roll of toilet paper, a pen, or simply a box of toothpicks. However, because they sell a large number of products to many people, they ultimately become millionaires or billionaires. That is the director of the companies that produce these products. At this point, many may think, but if I work for my boss, does this formula still apply? If you think carefully, you will realize that you are also selling your time and effort to your boss. It is this time and effort that creates value in the company's products, which the company then sells to customers. However, typically, your boss will pay you a salary that is less than the value you have created. Therefore, if you truly want to become wealthy, you should start your own business and be the owner of your work. Simply put, no one becomes a millionaire by working for someone else. When we run our own business, even if we earn little, at least we get paid what we truly deserve for the value we create. Once you understand the income formula, you will also realize that the most important secret to becoming rich is to increase the number of people you serve. And billionaires are those who understand this better than anyone else. When we look at the richest person in the world today, Elon Musk, we can clearly see this. Looking at Musk's hundreds of billions of dollars in assets, we might think that he has exceptional money-making abilities. However, that is just the tip of the iceberg. The truth is that Musk is not only the richest person on the planet but also the one who creates the most value and serves the most people in the world. Take a look at one of Musk's most representative companies, Tesla. The primary value that Tesla brings to the world is providing a green mode of transportation, helping to address the issues of environmental pollution and global warming. This value is contained in a product, which is the car. However, typically, due to competitive pressure from rivals, the profit margin for each car sold is very limited and difficult to increase. What truly brings profit to the company is the massive number of users. Each year, the company sells millions of cars to millions of customers worldwide. It is this massive number of customers that has helped Musk become a billionaire. Another example is Jeff Bezos, the founder of the e-commerce platform Amazon. When we look at his company, we can immediately recognize the value he brings to the world, enabling people to shop for goods conveniently and quickly without having to spend time going to a store. This value is packaged in a product, which is the Amazon app. Currently, there are hundreds of millions of people using Amazon's services every day. Another case is Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. The value he provides is connecting billions of people around the world through his main product, the Facebook app. Currently, it is estimated that nearly 3 billion people use this app. When we look at these three individuals, we see that although their companies, products, and the values they create are completely different, they share a common point: they all serve a vast number of people around the world. Their products are used by millions and billions of people every day. Imagine if they owned all their companies and products as they do now. But only a few people use their products each year. Could they still become billionaires? Now, I will provide another example of those who own assets slightly less than billionaires, which is the homeless. When you understand the formula I presented above, you will see why homeless individuals are impoverished. The simple reason is that they do not create any significant value for society. Ordinary people can create value by selling their time and effort to their bosses. However, the homeless do not do this, so they do not create any value at all. Naturally, they do not serve anyone either. Both of these factors lead to the inevitable result that they have no income. Through the examples above, we understand that the essence of earning money and becoming wealthy depends on two main factors. The first is the value we bring to society. What problem do we solve for others? The second factor, and the most important one, is the number of people we serve. The values we provide may be very small. We may simply be solving very minor issues for others. However, if the number of people we serve is large enough, we will no longer pursue wealth. Instead, wealth will pursue us. At this point, many of you might wonder, if so, how can we know what value we can provide to others? And how can we deliver that value to many other people? The answer is that we need to ask ourselves questions. Since everyone has different strengths, weaknesses, and passions, the answers will vary for each individual. The questions you can ask yourself are: what problems is society facing? Can I provide a solution to that problem? What product can my solution be packaged into? How can I deliver that product to all those in need? As you can see, these 4 questions can be summarized into 4 key phrases: problem, solution, product, and sales. All business activities, from a roadside hot dog stand to the giant empire of Starbucks, follow these 4 questions. When you can answer these questions, you will know the path to wealth that you will take. Of course, you cannot become wealthy just by answering these questions and then playing video games. What those who want to get rich should aim for is entrepreneurship. Additionally, if you are currently employed, you should not quit your job immediately to start a business. Instead, consider it a side job at first. Over time, you may dedicate yourself fully to your business activities. Moreover, we should not start a business with too much capital. I have an acquaintance who worked in Japan for nearly 6 years, saved a substantial amount of money, and then returned home to open a coffee shop. As a result, after a while, all the money he had painstakingly saved over the years disappeared, and he was left with significant debt. This is the consequence of doing business without experience. So initially, we should only start with a small business to gain experience, and then gradually scale up. The owner of the KFC brand did not start by opening a large store in the middle of New York. He began by frying chicken at home and selling it to his neighbors. Apple also did not start with large stores. It began in a small garage. Steve Jobs and his partners personally built the first computer and took it to sell. So, we can start in the same way. In today's video, we have seen the formula for making money. Your income depends on two main factors: the value you bring and the number of people you serve. Specifically, if you want to become wealthy, you should focus on increasing the number of people you serve. Additionally, I have provided questions to help you realize your goal of becoming rich. I hope this video helps improve your life. Now, to summarize the content of the video, I will tell you a short story. During a talk, when asked about the secret to Elon Musk's wealth, his wife succinctly replied, "Millionaires find ways to serve millions of people, while billionaires seek to serve billions." Okay, this video ends here. See you all next year. And I wish everyone a great day.